8 months ago, I tore the long head of my bicep. I underwent a surgery, did a proper rehabilitation, and finally I'm back in the game. How I went from struggling to lift my arm to nearly reaching my old level, what physiotherapy and training say followed, nutrition, supplements, and how about the motivational and mental aspect, all that covered in this video, so stay till the end. Hey, it's Viktor here. It was July night last year and I was enjoying a rings workout at my favorite spot. I was properly warmed up, I had no sign of upcoming injury, no pain at all, when suddenly, at one skill that is named Zanelli on the rings, I felt like something inside me, like a rope, snapped. Unfortunately, I don't have any videos from that time, and even though I had no pain at all, I felt something bad happened here, and I said to my friends, guys, I'm going back home, I'm done for today. In the morning I already had some pain and the biceps was on a different place than usual, lower than usual. So let's see the difference between normal tendon of the long head of the biceps and torn one. So this is normal, you see I'm going from pronated to supinated grip, and of course the biceps is going up, while over here nothing so much happens. Immediately I went to make an MRI to see what's happening, and my thoughts were confirmed. I had the long head of my biceps torn. And after making consultations with many specialists, I decided to make the surgery, because that was in fact the only way to actually be back in the sport. So 2 weeks later I made the surgery and my tendon was reattached to the humerus with an anchor. And the surgery was around 40-50 minutes, something like this, but to be honest I don't remember because I was under a full anesthesia. Yeah, what I remember was the pain I had after waking up, especially 2 hours after the surgery. It was just maybe the most painful part. I remember even calling my friend to tell him to give me some additional pain relief, because the ones that they gave me from the hospital was just not enough. All sweating, alone in the room, looking outside the window and saying, what I'm even doing over here? I mean, people are outside enjoying summer, enjoying life, and I'm here not even knowing when I'll be back in the trainings. But it is how it is. I had to went through that situation. It was hard to sleep in the first nights. And the crazy thing is that most of the pain was not even on my biceps, but more on those 2 fingers, the middle finger and the forefinger, because they had a crazy swelling. I mean, they were twice the size than usual. So in a few days I went back home, and in the first weeks I wore an arm sling like this, supporting my arm and immobilizing it. And I remember taking medicine against post-surgery inflammatory and also putting ice on the swollen place. Additionally, I started taking supplements like collagen and magnesium that I still take till that moment. But guys, to be honest, that was maybe the hardest period for me, because for a person that has been training for 12 years, had no week without any training, it was really hard for me to imagine how my next months will be. I really felt how dependent I am on that sport. Yeah, for real. I don't know, like an alcoholic without the alcohol, something like this. After the second week I got my stitches removed. I also started moving my arm a little bit. It was hard, felt like if I'm not supporting my arm, it will just separate from my body. I couldn't move my arm like this, and the thing that made me crazy was the inability to extend my elbow. Like for real, that was my maximum. And as a guy that was doing planches and having overextended elbows, that was just, getting me mad, for real. Yeah, but of course I got it back. It took me around 3-4 weeks to extend it to the maximum, but of course with a lot of physiotherapy and special exercises. And around that time I started seeing muscle loss. I remember visiting my friends on the bars and they were like, how is that possible to change that much for such a small period of time? Yeah, and in fact it's possible. When you have zero activity and you move your arm just 1 centimeter up and down, it's absolutely possible. And yeah, you can see here the difference between the left and the right hand, and when I measured my arm it went from 38 to 31 centimeters. I also started working with a physiotherapist. I trusted Beta Clinic in Sofia, Bulgaria. There I started from the basics, such as biceps curls with half a kilo and different moves to bring back my strength, mobility and muscle balance. And I was doing all those exercises additional at home, in general 3 times a day per 30 minutes. As well, I was doing some core and abs training to at least stay in some okay shape. Till the 5th week I already progressed in majority of the exercises. I had a bigger range of motion and performed them with more weights. I remember on the 6th week I already could lift my arm and was way more balanced. These were the foundations that I needed, and soon I went outside and started working on some basic exercises that are imitating the regular pull-ups and dips. For example, pulling a band or pushing a band. Yeah, nothing that crazy, but I was really happy that I'm back on the bars. And during that time I continued doing my physiotherapy, but reduced it from 3 to 2 times a day. So day by day around the second month I made my first pull-up and push-up with a hardest band. Yeah, for me that was something really big, you know, I was just filming myself and looking at all the details, whether I'm pulling in a proper way, really balanced between left and right. That was the most important thing for me. And then once I had enough volume, I was thinking of going to the next band, really slowly and slowly going from progression to progression. Interestingly, even though these were really simple basics compared to what I used to do before, every time after training I had a soreness, yeah, just because I was away for a few months from the sport. Between the second and the fourth month I made most of the progress in terms of gaining back my muscle mass. I can say around 70-80% of what I lost, I gained it back at that time. So slowly from band to band, around the third month or maybe a little bit before that, I managed to make my first pull-ups, push-ups and dips without any additional support. Was really happy. And I also made my first handstand, and I had even a period in which the one-arm handstand on the healthy arm was feeling safer than the two-handed regular handstand. I also started doing some special basic exercises that will slowly prepare me for the skills. For example, work with dumbbells for planche or for front lever, resistant band pullings and so on. And at month 4, after rebuilding my strength and mind-muscle connection, I started working on the skills with the help of a really hard resistant band. And absolutely by the same way I got back into the basics, I started working on the skills. And slowly from band to band I made my first bodyweight planche and front lever around month 6. Yeah, the feeling was great, but to be honest the progress was so gradual, so it didn't felt like it came from nowhere, you know. I was sticking to one progression, to one band for a long time, so I got used to it. I already accepted that this is my level, so when I changed to another progression and a band, it felt pretty normal. I can say, guys, that this is one of the key points, because if you're feeling too excited, it means that you're driving too fast and you need to just slow down. And at month 6 I started finally working also on other skills such as planche push-ups, planche press and front lever pull-ups. And absolutely by the same way, you know, slowly from progression to progression by using shortening body or a resistant band, I actually got the bodyweight version of those exercises for around month and a half without any problems and any disbalances at all. Yeah, sometimes when I see at my straddle planche in the front, it looks like one of my legs is a little bit harder than the other, yeah, so I need to work on that thing right now, yeah, but aside from that, nothing that big as a problem. However, I still avoid skills such as Zanetti, Hefesto or Iron Crawl just because my injury is way more vulnerable to them. Yeah, I already started some work towards the motifs, for example, attempts on supinated planche, getting my planche a little bit wider and wider, working with the bands. Yeah, but no rush at all, you know, I just want healthy progress and nothing else. Yeah, even if it takes me a year, I'm totally fine with that. And by the way, guys, next week I'm dropping a new video from the legendary gym. I haven't been there for a while. It will be more like tutorial based video in which I'm gonna walk you through my workouts, what I'm usually doing on workouts, how I'm warming up, what skills I'm training, yeah, so I think it will be definitely helpful. And also in terms of, you know, cinematic footage is probably one of the best videos that I had so far. So you don't want to miss it out, it's coming next week. Okay, and now I'm back. But it's been 8 months and probably it will take me a year till I'm 100% back. Why it actually happened at first place? Well, that's the question that you should ask yourself every time something went wrong. I was thinking a lot about it, guys, and I can say it's a mixture of many things. A lot of travels, inconsistent trainings, not drinking enough water, and something else, which is the way you execute the move. So if I go back to that summer night, I went for 2 Zanettis with additional band. It was even with additional band, yeah. However, the second repetition was too fast, and what truly matters is the tension you put for a certain amount of time. So just imagine having a thread. If you want to break it, you're just gonna pull it really fast and rapid, you know. And that, combined with a big stretch in the back lever position, led to the same effect on my tendon. Now let's talk about the most important thing, which is the mindset, because without it, nothing from what I talked till now couldn't happen. And even though after the surgery and the weeks after I was not the most happy guy, there was no option for me of not coming back, you know. As a guy who is in the sport for 12 years, I just couldn't imagine not doing the skills that I used to make before. You know, I already accepted that I'll be back and I'll be stronger. I just had to do that thing. Just like in a competition, sometimes you go to a competition and you know that you already won. You didn't allow any negative thoughts in my head to come, as let's say I'm never gonna be back in the sport, even though some specialists were telling me that I'm never gonna be the same and so on, yeah. And I can say I looked at that incident in a really positive way. I mean, for me that was an opportunity to grow as a person, to learn some lessons, to try different things, develop in different areas, yeah, and generally be more balanced person, you know. And sometimes if you don't balance yourself, you see how life will balance you. If I look at it from a side, maybe the most important thing is the physiotherapy exercises that I did. I mean, I know some other guys who complained with the same injury as me, but they were just not so much strict in that thing, and I saw that for the same period of time they were having less progress than me. Yeah, and of course, as I said, nutrition is important. I took collagen and magnesium, and basically those were the only supplements that I took from the injury till now. And of course, food is really important. I mean, I was focusing mainly on protein-rich foods, just because the tendons are mainly made of collagen, and the protein helps for the synthesis of the collagen. Was eating, for example, chicken, turkey, fish, different fishes, lentils as well. Also, don't forget about foods that are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, just because they're helping against inflammatory of the tendons. Now, why I made that video? I learned my lesson. I want you to feel the story emotionally in order not to feel the injury physically. I just see my injury as a tool to help the community and to prevent many people from facing the same fate. It's about knowing what to do in order not to be in the same situation, and in case you end up like this, to know how to deal with it and to be back in the most safe way. And let me tell you something, recently many people started writing me, you know, bro, I got the same injury as you, what to do and so on, and I really see how the sport is getting bigger and bigger, more and more complex, which means that the risk of injury is getting way bigger, and we need to have more professional approach to our trainings and also to the rehabilitation after any incidents like this. So if you're injured like this, write me a message, you're not alone. So guys, hope you enjoyed the video. If it somehow touched you, just write a comment down. I'm reading them all and it means so much for me. As I said, the next week I'll upload another video in which I'm gonna show you how I'm currently training. Yeah, and from here and after I'll be more active on YouTube. Hit the like button and the subscribe button for more videos like this, and till the next time. By the way, I'm recording at 3 o'clock in the night, so it's time to sleep. Let's go.